Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. I'm Dylan Heisen, and today I'm joined by Michelle Lander.
Hello.
Justin Cummings.
Hello.
April Collins.
Hello.
And Alex Bonilla.
Hola.
Today we will be announcing the nominations for our OverlyAnimated.com's annual Animation Television Awards, the OVA-ies, the 2018 OVA-ies Animation Awards. I have heard that they are the most legitimate animation awards in all the world.
I'm sure they
all
are.
the world.
I heard that.
Bold
Annies
statement.
would complain.
Yeah, the Annies are fine, but certainly better than the Emmys and Oscar. So
They're fine.
Yeah, they're fine. But yes, our internal staff and patrons have chosen the nominations in 5 categories. I will be revealing the categories, and then we'll be discussing what we like that got nominated, what we didn't like, and then what will win, what should win each category. If you would like to be surprised as I read the nominations, don't look in the podcast description. If you have already seen it because you went to the website posting first, that's okay. We'll be giving analysis for it as well. But yeah, at overlyanimated.com, you can find all of the nominees in the description article associated with this podcast. Also the voting will be open for the winners as an open vote. You can find that at overlyanimated.com/awards. The Google form for that, 50% open vote, weighed by shows watched, and then 50% expert committee will determine the winners for each category. We had a 2-part nomination system. We really need to get into it too much, but we arrived at options for every show, and then we selected the top 6 for each category for each show. So we'll be getting the 6 nominees for each of these categories here, starting with Best New Show. We'll go in reverse order. Best New Show, Best Supporting Character, Best Main Character, Best Episode, and Best Show. So yes, very, very excited to get into all of this here. Let's see what we have chosen. Alex, what's your big question heading into the nominations here?
Who's doing the drum roll? I feel like we need a drum roll for this.
Okay. Michelle, what are you most interested in seeing tonight?
I was afraid you were going to ask me to do the drum roll, and I got very nervous.
No, that's fine.
What was the question, Dylan?
Well, anyone, what's the biggest question? What show do we think will do best here? What's in contention? What are we expecting to see?
Well,
lots of Ladybug.
Lots
of Ladybug
specifically, or just all the categories?
The big headlines we're expecting. What questions do you want answered?
I think She-Ra is going to impress. I have a good feeling about She-Ra having a strong showing in a lot of categories here.
Okay. So
I'm a little concerned Summer Camp Rally might be underrepresented by the general public at large. Though I thought it was great, and I voted for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows, only 6 spots, but we'll see. Yes, Justin?
I'm pulling for the Hollow, especially for New Show, simply because I get a feeling it's a miniseries and will not get a second season. So if it's ever going to be nominated, it's tonight or never.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And April's pulling for Ladybug. Okay, we have a lot of varying interests here. We didn't really mention some of the heavy hitters as well, but we'll see. We'll see what we get to tonight. Let's start with Best New Animated Show. This is a new category this year. Only shows. So this is the only category where not everything was eligible. Only things that had a world premiere in 2018 were eligible for this category. And I should say that this is anything is eligible for this anime, any country of origin. That being said, our website focuses on Western animation, so you're going to see a lot more of that just because of what the people nominating it have seen more of. So, okay, let's get into this Best New Animated Show of 2018. 6 nominees per category, and the nominees are Bloom Into You, Craig of the Creek, The Dragon Prince, Final Space, Hilda, and She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. There are your 6 nominees for Best No. Justin's prediction already squashed here, so.
I mean, it's not going to be best show of the year, that's for sure. So, all right, I'm heading out. I will see you guys.
Okay, bye, Justin.
Okay, bye.
Yes, so we not too many ended up eligible for this category in our short list, but those are the 6 that made it. Alex, are you surprised by anything here?
I'm impressed that Bloom Into You made it, because I do think that anime representation should be had, and that I've heard good things about it, and I've only seen like 1 or 2 episodes, so I'm glad about that. I'm also happy that like Craig of the Creek and Hilda are getting recognition, because like those are like the slice of life shows that maybe fly under the radar overall, like compared to like the big sci-fi epics like Final Space. But like they have their value, and I think that what they try to do, they executed very well. So I do think that they deserve recognition, even if their stakes are a little lower compared to some of the other programs we cover here.
Yeah, Michelle, Bloom Into You happy that it made it here?
Very happy. I'm finally caught up now, and now I'm just craving more episodes. It's so good, Alex. You should keep watching. I think around episode 4, it just really kicks into high gear, and since then, it's just been a steady, beautiful, unfolding story. Lots of character drama, lots of feelings. It's good stuff. I am a little sad this Summer Camp Island did not make top 6 spots, but you know, I can't have issue with anything up there. They're all really good, so I guess that's my consolation takeaway from this so far.
Yeah, April, I think Gretzico is a notable snub for this category.
I mean, it was a really good show. I'll definitely say that. But like, I guess I'm not upset that it didn't make it into like the nominations. Like all of these shows, I haven't seen Bloom Into You. It's on my to watch list. I'm always really slow when it comes to anime, but like all the rest of these shows, I'm like, yeah, they all deserve to be up there for sure. Like especially like She-Ra is a very powerful show. Like Final Space just blew me away. Like Dragon Prince is a very like solid pick, and Hilda, like very surprisingly, like I loved it. I adored it. It was another one of those where I like absentmindedly watched it, and then I was like, wait, this show was amazing, and then I watched it again. So so I'm pleased with this. Yeah, Agriseku didn't make it, but that's okay.
Yes. Justin, any of these obviously the Hollow stands out to you as a snub here. Anything else?
I think the biggest snub that didn't even make the list at all of new shows.
The short list, yeah.
Okay, of the short list or of any show that got snubbed? The new show.
For yeah. Well, I posted the ones in part one of our nominating process for these guys that there. So if something's not on this list, that means it wasn't get enough votes to get onto the short list, basically. Yeah. Yeah, because there was one show that didn't even end up in the first round of nomination, because it had a very similar title to Dragon Prince and got released 1 week later. What
Dragon
show is that?
Pilot on Netflix. It's an anime, but it's on Netflix, so like go watch it. Like it's super cute. It's like plain dragons. It's adorable. But again, Dragon Prince happened like 1 week before, so nobody noticed.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Yes. I just want to highlight a lot of things that did get nominated here, including Craig of the Creek, which that would be my pick in this category for best new show here. We'll see what these other guys got, but also Dragon Prince, Final Space, Hilda. Very happy those shows at least get this new show nomination here. We'll see if they get more as the night goes on. And then She-Ra, of course, coming on strong here. Alex predicted a big night. Bloom Into You, the anime representative here. We'll see if there's any other anime nominations. This is, I'm calling this the best queer anime ever, in history of anime. So,
more reason
have
for
you
me
ever
to
seen
watch
Utena, dude?
Yeah,
like,
Utena, yeah.
You're gonna put it on that.
I've got some questions about that choice, Dylan.
It's a bold claim. Okay, but anyway, it's really good. The point is, yeah. Okay, so Michelle, what's your pick here? What will win this category? What do you think should win this category?
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, how do you compare a show like Hilda to a show like Bloom Into You, or I mean, Final Space to She-Ra? I mean, actually, that's not a terrible comparison. And these shows do different things. I mean, I don't know. I think honestly, the only one I haven't seen of this is Dragon Prince, so I can't vouch for that. Is it bad that I feel like Final Space shouldn't objectively win based on first seasons alone?
I mean, there's a lot of good shows here. I think Final Space getting nominated says a lot about how strong of a first season it had.
I mean, honestly, like I feel like Hilda was a surprising standout, but I'm also constantly blown away by the quality of Craig of the Creek. And I have a very soft spot for She-Ra, so I think those might be my main three. But it's really hard to choose. I think if it was any of those three, I'd be really happy. I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'm fine.
Okay.
I wouldn't feel like anything was robbed.
April, what's your pick in this category?
I feel like it might go to like She-Ra, just because, and I would not be upset with that. If it went to like Hilda, I'd be very pleased and happy with that. Again, not too familiar with like Bloom Into You, Craig of the Creek, but those two for sure. I think I would be very pleased if Final Space got it. I would laugh and
yes,
but also not be upset because I'm and maybe like I'm just going against the grain here, but I thought Final Space was like for a first season and for a new show, it was very strong. And so I think it also would deserve to win this category for sure. But like, She-Ra winning would be like amazing because again, I have a soft spot for that. And same with Hilda. So
yeah, I expect Final Space and Dragon Prince to perform very well in the fan vote, but we'll see. Those are big online followings. Alex, quickly, what's your pick here?
Well, who I think will win, I think She-Ra also has strong fandom power too, so like I would expect people to get behind that. But my personal choice, I think it depends on what you prefer, peak or consistency. I think She-Ra had a higher peak, like its best episodes were really good, like to the point like they could be considered for best episode of the year. Whereas I think Craig of the Creek is a more consistently quality show. Like there aren't really bad episodes of Craig of the Creek so far this season. So like if you value that, then I would go Craig of the Creek. But if you prefer like just what had the best episodes, then She-Ra.
Justin.
I'm going to go Dragon Prince just because I think it was a strong start, not just of a new show, but of establishing a brand new universe. Because I think Dragon Prince is going to go for a long time. I think it's going to be a long running show. And I think they laid a lot of really important groundwork. Whereas I think Craig is one of those shows that can kind of end anytime. Not that I want it to, but it doesn't have like an end game. And I haven't seen She-Ra yet, so I don't know how big its scope is so far. But I feel like Dragon Prince has kind of like cornered itself into like 8 seasons to like fit its narrative based on its like naming conventions and like its plot and what I remember of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, I think Dragon Prince had the biggest obstacles to overcome, and I think it did a really good job of that.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. A lot of potential with Dragon Prince, I'd say. Yeah, I'm pushing for Craig and Hilda here. Those stand out to me, but a lot of great picks here in this category. Let's go to the next one here. Now we're getting to these character categories, so a lot less of objective takes here.
Oh boy, yes.
Just it depends what you prefer for each
Feelings
category.
Come out.
Yeah. Okay. So best supporting character, animation supporting character of 2018, and the nominees are Eclipsa from Star vs. the Force of Evil.
Woo.
Hawkmoth from Miraculous Ladybug.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kitty Boone from Mysticons.
Hey.
Lapis from Steven Universe.
What?
Lotor from
Yes.
Voltron Legendary Defender, Lotor. And Scorpia from She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
Scorpia? Wait, Scorpia beat Catra? Oh, it's
This
a
is supporting
character.
character. It's very confusing. This is supporting character.
And I was like, what is the world coming to? Not that I don't like Scorpia.
Those are your nominees. This is the most zany category always. So a little bit
Really is.
a little hard to break down. These are the ones. I also have to say this was the closest voting. So there's a lot of very, very close contenders here.
People voted for Kevin, huh?
Okay, Michelle, that's yours. Kevin from Final Space is your snub here.
Yeah, totally. But it's okay. He'll
It's
come
okay.
back.
Okay.
He'll rise in season 2.
Yeah, we have more to come from Kevin. That's true.
He might become a main character by season 2.
Yeah, Michelle
might
thought Kevin should be a main character. That's
Yeah.
wasn't every episode, I feel like. So that's a good. Alex, are you surprised anything didn't make it here?
No, I honestly I think Kevin was a candidate, but yeah, I think this is a very strong top 6. It would be a hard decision to choose between these because I feel like they all bring different energies to their shows. Like, just one that stands out to me, like Eclipse for Star Versus. Like, I support that one because, like, she is really, I think, the part that, like, kept Star Versus this season afloat in terms of, like, is keeping the story interesting. Like, her introduction and adding her backstory. Like, those were the most compelling moments of Star Versus in 2018 to me. So I think that she is very important to keeping that show up to its quality.
Yeah. I have 3 huge snubs here. So they're very close to making it. First is, General Amaya from the Dragon Prince.
Yes.
Definitely thought Amaya was gonna make this. A lot of people voted for her. She was very close, but yeah, she's the kind of the standout side character from the Dragon Prince. Really, deaf character that signs the whole first season. It's pretty incredible. And then we have 2 anime characters that also really stand out. Producer San Kotaro from Zombieland Saga is my choice for supporting character of the year. I would have say he should have won, and it's tough for anime people to make these categories, but he's a big standout character this fall season. Last one is Sayaka from Bloomin' to You. She was on my ballot as well. She's came on really strong in recent episodes of that show. But there's also you got Kevin, Gina from BoJack was on our short list. That was good.
I was surprised by that, honestly.
I thought she was good. Godbrand from Castlevania is another. There's a lot of strong, and Salem from Ruby also is very close to making this list. I will say Salem had a strong season. Justin, who stands out to you that made the 6 here?
Of who made the 6? I think I'm going for Hawkmoth because because if you go back and listen to the top 5 Ladybug character roundtable we once did, Dylan, I said my favorite character was Hawkmoth.
Yeah, but that was before he was good, but yeah.
So it doesn't count?
Well, Justin is claiming that he's on the bandwagon first.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Justin started the Hawkmoth movement. You're welcome.
We'll see about that. Justin's supporting Hawkmoth. April, are you also supporting Hawkmoth here?
Yes. This list is very hard for me just because, like, of course, everyone knows Hawkmoth is my favorite. And aside from him just being ridiculous, he did have a lot of really good, like, character moments in his season. Eclipse, I really enjoyed her in Star, and I agree that she sort of kept the season together. Lapis is another great character. Kitty Boone. I don't know who Lotor is, but okay, whatever.
How dare you? How dare you?
I love that take. Okay, whatever.
So I guess, like, if anything, I'm upset because, like, someone like Gina from, like, because I thought Gina was a very strong character from BoJack, and I would have liked to have seen her make this list, but I mean, I guess Voltron's got to be represented. And of course, I have a soft spot for Scorpia, so she's just a darling.
Yeah,
she is. It's really true.
Lotor is interesting. The last 2 seasons of Voltron came out recently. He's not prominently featured, but the 2 previous seasons to that, he was excellent in. So I think that's why you'll see that he's on this list, seasons 5 and 6 of Voltron. Yeah, Justin?
Is the season 8 appearances of Lotor considered part of this Lotor?
Yes, I think so. Flashbacks, I think, should count. Yeah, flashbacks will count.
Cool. So. Lotor should win just for baby Lotor.
Okay.
I don't know what any of that means, but I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
Tiny space baby.
I mean,
is he an alien?
Every show when you introduce a villain, but then you do the flashback to when they were kids and you see why they became villains, like that always works. I feel like, is there a bad recurrence of that?
Michelle,
that's the little Zuko scenes. It's like
I was thinking about that. Yeah, the flashbacks for Zuko and Azula were very effective. It's true.
Michelle, who do you want to win this category?
I don't know who 3 of these people are. I feel a little bad. I don't know who Hawkmoth, Kitty Boone, and Lotor are. So I'd say, based on the other 3, I kind of want Eclipse to win. But perhaps Lapis, just because she's had seasons and seasons to build up. And she's doing better now, and that's really good. Scorpia is a delight just because she was so not what I was expecting when I saw her character design, and she really is, like April said, she's like a sweetheart, and it's just so nice. I love her character a lot. But I think Eclipse or Lapis for me, just based on the fact that I know who they are.
Okay, that's good criteria. That's actually what most people would be voting on, so that's representative of the masses here.
Have I heard of this person?
Yeah.
Okay, quick.
Wait, I know them.
Didn't make kid.
I know them. Gotta vote.
We are supposed to only be voting based on 2018 appearances. Lapis is interesting. She had one absolutely phenomenal episode, and then she was also great in Reunited. But other than that, she hasn't done anything. So like, it's how much you weigh small appearances here.
I think Steven Universe is also an interesting case for like supporting characters due to the fact that there haven't been that many episodes aired in 2018 compared to previous years. Like supporting characters, there just haven't been enough of any to really stand out. So I'm surprised that Lapis made it, but like I'm happy for her. But at the same time, like Steven Universe supporting cast in general this year, it's kind of tough because most of them only got like 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah, I think Lapis making it here shows a lot of love for Kenko back in that episode. So that's very good. Kitty as well. Also didn't have too many appearances this year, but she's always a standout character in Mysticons. And Eclipse, I agree with the take. Eclipse a really elevated star, and in a down year for Star, she really stands out. So I think like her, Lotor, but really Hawkmoth, I think, is the true standout
really
in this.
Is. He did so good this year. Like,
it's not only is he a great meme, he is genuinely a very good character this year. Like he actually turned into the second best character in the show, or third best, whatever you want to say. So
like half hawk, half
it's a villain. He's a super villain. That's his super villain persona.
He's the main villain.
We won't reveal his real name in case anyone's not caught up on the show. That's a reveal.
Well, I guess it's like he's dressed like a hawk, but he uses things that look like moths to attack people.
It's the English translation of his French name, which is butterfly. So yeah, it's weird. Anyway, there you go. There's supporting character. That's the weirdest category here. So let's get into main character here. Some more streamlined picks. My criteria appears in most episodes of the year. So that's what we're looking here from main characters 2018, and the nominees are BoJack from BoJack Horseman, Catra from She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, Marinette from Miraculous Ladybug, Pearl from Steven Universe, Star Butterfly from Star vs. the Force of Evil, and Zarya Moonwolf from Mysticons. There are your main character selections for 2018.
Voltron.
No Voltron.
Ooh.
So many ladies.
I'm a little surprised,
BoJack.
Yeah.
There's a certain Voltron lady that's missing from this list.
Well, so Keith was the shortlist selection for Voltron.
Okay.
Yeah. Keith just missed. And that's a notable snub for me. Kelsey from Craig of the Creek is my biggest snub here. Yeah, well, she is.
Dang.
Well, Justin, I don't know if you were alluding to this, but Allura had a really strong ending to this show. So, like, I wonder.
Unfortunately, season 8 wasn't super considered for. It was just too late in the year.
Kind of kicking themselves now, like just based on season 8, because like seasons 5 through 7, Allura was good. Season 8, Allura is like another level, and people are like, no.
Yeah, Allura certainly could have been in contention. Kelsey's a big snub. She's a standout element of Craig the Creek. There's also other ones. Rayla from Dragon Prince, I think, is absolutely the best character on that show. She was phenomenal this year. The main character.
Best character.
What is?
Bait.
There's no sidekick category. We could have done the animal sidekick category. We did not. There's you from Bloom into You. She's really phenomenal. Hilda from Hilda, I think, is a big snub as well. And then you get Sypha from Castlevania. Yeah, there are a lot of strong contenders here that did not make the cut. Alex, are you surprised at any of these 6 that made it?
I'm let's see here. Feel free to pillory me, guys, but like Catra as the main for She-Ra is interesting because I always got the sensation that Adora is a stronger character in season 1, but I'm open to hearing why Catra got the nod over Adora here.
So at the very least, Catra's the most popular character, I would say.
Yeah. Why do you say that Adora is more compelling than Catra? What makes you say that, Alex?
Well, I feel like she gets more focus in the show, obviously, but also like her arc is a little more clearer than like what Catra's going through. Like Catra, we're setting up the whole abandonment angle and like her turning to the dark side, but I feel like in the show, like she kind of gets pushed to the wayside a little bit more often than I feel like she deserves. And I'm just going like by what the show has given me. I just feel like the show has given a lot more focus to Adora, and that's contributed to Adora having a bit more of a bit more of a character than what Catra gets to do.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of strong characters in She-Ra. Dora, Glimmer, Bo, and Catra all really could have been represented.
Glimmer. Yeah, I think Glimmer might have been snubbed too.
I voted
She-Ra
for
has a
Glimmer.
lot of strong
Great.
names, so like,
Catra's very popular. I think Catra's like very appealing to a lot of people. I think that's largely
Absolutely.
contributing.
And like, Alex, this is a short answer to your thing. So like the counterpoint is that, yeah, Adora had more focus, but her focus was a lot more generic, right? She's going through a lot of the motions that a lot of like, oh, she's special. Oh, she has these new powers. Oh, she doesn't know she's going to be a good hero. Oh, she's trying to figure out her new place with her friends. Oh, no. Like, we've seen that kind of drama with a lot of protagonists, and it's not nearly as interesting as Catra's whole thing, whereas she is kind of becoming a villain, but we get to see that develop from an initial friendship. And her, like, struggles are a lot more rare for a villain, and I think that's where a lot of the fandom and the interest comes in her character. It's a little more refreshing, it's a little different, it's not as, like, it's a little nuanced, and that's really appealing, and that's why I like her.
Yeah, people really connect her as like this nuanced villain, yeah, for sure.
Totally.
Thank you for taking all of those words out of my mouth. Because I was literally just thinking all of those same things.
Yeah, Justin, what's your pick out of these 6 characters?
Out of these 6, Pearl.
Yes.
For a single pale rose especially.
Yeah.
Yes, Pearl had 2 particularly strong episodes this year: A Single Pale Rose and that long title. Now can't go something.
Now we're falling apart.
Now we're only falling apart. Yeah, there you go. She was really phenomenal in both of those episodes. Yeah. April, who's your pick of these 6?
Ooh, it's funny because I'm pretty sure I picked all 6 of these characters. So
I'm very happy with these selections.
I'm very happy. Like, I would not be upset if any one of these characters like took it. I maybe like I'm kind of rooting for BoJack Horseman a little bit more. No offense to all of these beautiful, strong ladies that are in this list, but like, I feel like he had a huge like character development. Not that none of these other ones did, but like on a more personal level, I can relate to him and his struggles. And if he doesn't get it, then I kind of would want to see Catra. Sorry, Alex, but
no need to apologize to me.
Your choice, April.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, like any one of them, like I would be very happy with. Like I felt that they all had really strong, like, you know, runs in 2018, so that they're all deserving, and I'm not upset with any of this list.
Nice, Michelle. Who's your quick pick here?
Ooh, either Catra or Pearl or Star, but I think Star I wasn't as hyped for the past season, and Pearl had such a standout episode, but I think Catra's fascinating, so probably Catra or Pearl.
Alex?
My personal debate is between BoJack and Pearl. I think today I lean BoJack. If you ask me another day, I could go Pearl. But, I'm going to say BoJack today.
3 days, it's going to be Catra. He's changed his mind.
Yeah, maybe
changed his mind.
Yeah, this is a great category. I think for me, Catra is kind of a distant 6th here, even though I do think she's very good. Just these are all phenomenal characters. BoJack may have had the strongest characterization of the bunch. He's a phenomenal. It's hard because he's very unlikable going up against very likable other people. With, you know, Catra's kind of in the middle, but he had potentially his best year ever this year. So and it's, you know, from maybe the best show on TV. So that's a really good case. Marinette from Ladybug, I think, is phenomenal as always. She had a particularly strong year as well. Pearl is like few episodes, but she was phenomenal in those episodes. How do you weigh that? I've always said Star Butterfly is the best character on TV. So if you want to pick Star, that's absolutely great. But Star had a down year and it didn't air, and it only aired half the episode, so that's hurting her a little bit. So I think my pick would be Zarya from Mysticons, who really stood out. Really stood out this year. She was phenomenal. She had this phenomenal queer romance with Kitty, who was also nominated. She has this twist involving her, where much of the drama of the season hinges upon. She was just really good. Mysticons really good this year. But all these people, very strong category, very strong characters here. You know, also Kelsey, Hilda, they'd have been good additions as well. But there you go. Expecting Catra to do well in the fan vote based on what I've seen so far from online.
I think it's gonna come down to like Catra and Pearl.
Oh my god, that's a tough one.
I think those two might get the most votes, but we will see. So let's move on to the heavy hitter categories here. Best episode, best show. We'll start with best episode of 2018. And the nominees are A Single Pale Rose from Steven Universe, The Black Paladins from Voltron Legendary Defender. Come Along With Me from Adventure Time.
Hey.
Free Churro, BoJack Horseman. The Princess and the Pirate, Mysticons. And Promise, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
Yes.
Still no Castlevania. Zero.
Yeah. Like this is the one category I thought Castlevania could show up in, like, because For Love is it's a strong episode. Yes,
I think that's the big snub here is For Love of Castlevania, right? That's the second to last episode of the season. Some of the best action in the recent American animation history. It was just phenomenal.
Emotion in recent like that. It is rare that I have seen that emotional a scene between two male protagonists, or not protagonists, but two male characters. Like, you want some good father-son drama, that episode is really good.
Yeah, and For Love was in contention here, didn't quite get there in the votes, but that'll be appearing on some of our end-of-year lists, so we'll get some recognition there. The Lost Fable from RWBY really just missed here. That was a RWBY's strongest episode ever this year. I don't think anyone else here watches RWBY, so I'm going to have to speak for RWBY, but
go for it.
I'm sure it was great.
Yeah, it's this epic origin story for the RWBY world. It was phenomenal. Doorway to Helen from Craig of the Creek just missed as well. That show's probably its best episode. Yeah, it was really good. Sandboy from Ladybug, also was in contention here. That's that show's best episode. Wonderstorm, Dragon Prince, Conquer, Star Wars: The Force of Evil. Those are some other notable ones that didn't quite get there. Alex, break these 6 down. Who are the top ones here?
Good luck.
Yeah. Come Along With Me. It deserves recognition because it's the finale of a show that lasted for a long time, and I think it did the best it could with wrapping up as all the stuff that Adventure Time had laid out up to then. The bubbly and stuff is obviously a huge bonus there. Free Churro is amazing because it's just a 22-minute stand-up routine at a funeral, and BoJack manages to make it work. So that's a really strong one. Promise, I would agree, is She-Ra's strongest episode. A Single Pale Rose is interesting because I prefer other episodes of 2018, but I can't deny that A Single Pale Rose is excellent in breaking down Pearl, and the whole dynamic of going into her different layers is just very, very creatively done, and the climax of that episode is great. The Black Paladins, it's got good action. I think that if you're looking for an action cartoon, the Black Paladins would be the best representative of this category. And The Princess and the Pirate, Kitty Boo and Zarya, if you like their chemistry, then you'll love that episode. Is that a good enough breakdown for you?
Yes, that was a good breakdown. Thank you, Alex. I think it should be noted the Steven Universe episode representative was the most contested one in the stage 1 of our nomination process. Reunited versus A Single Pale Rose is very close, but A Single Pale Rose got slightly more votes than Reunited, which is also one of the best episodes of the year for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Let's talk about Come Along With Me, because this is the series finale of Adventure Time, and it was really phenomenal. I call it one of the best series finales in TV history. I think that it's for me is one of the 3 standouts here, along with Free Churro and A Single Pale Rose of this group. Those are it's just absolutely incredible episodes. Very happy all 3 of them made it. Justin, what's standing out to you these 6? What's your pick here?
I think A Single Pale Rose for being a Steven Universe episode that wasn't spoiled.
Okay, I don't think we're rewarding.
No, and I mean, because Steven Universe this year was plagued with they're famous for episodes going up early. Like the episode debuting this Monday came out on the app back in July.
Oh yeah, that was an intentional thing, but yeah, that one wasn't a leak, but the fact that I was able to watch that episode debut, it's a great episode, but I think even greater is the experience of watching that for the first time blind, which is something that doesn't always happen in Steven because episodes will come out different times, different places. But this was one of those truly shocking primetime TV moments. And I think for the experience of it itself, it deserves it. Yeah. I completely agree with that. This is my number 1 episode of the year, Single Pale Rose, just for the biggest reaction I've had all year to watching a show with that huge, show-defining twist, one of the most impactful and best twists in animation history, and just the way it unfolded in that episode. That's what makes it really leap out for me, but there's so many good ones here. Michelle, what do you like?
I also think A Single Pale Rose, just because I've been thinking about this a lot, because Free Churro is really good, but Free Churro is good for being what it is. And I mean, having a, like Alex said, having a stand-up routine in Funeral is like a clever, nice idea. But a Single Pale Rose, just like it gives you the answers to something you've been waiting like 5 years to hear. And that is a very different, more powerful feeling than a clever idea in one episode. And that's also why I think it deserves it over Promise. While even though that's a great setup, that's the show's first season, and it's not going to have the same impact that A Single Pale Rose does because of that huge twist that we've been waiting so long to see. So I think like for that, it also deserves to win.
Yeah. April, your pick.
I hate agreeing with everyone, but I kind of do. Simply because, especially, you know, what Michelle was saying about how A Single Pale Rose, I mean, we've had this buildup for so long, and then, you know, the payoff is just great. I love the structure of the episode and how everything is presented to us. I guess my next pick would absolutely be Free Churro. It's kind of bizarre kind of to do the stand-up routine in you know, in the middle of a funeral home, but at the same time, like, a lot of what he's saying, like, there was something with just, and this is just me personally, but just a lot of, like, what's going on in that episode, and, like, whenever you sit down and, like, really break it down, like, that episode had me laughing, crying, like, reevaluating my own relationships with my parents, so there's a lot going on in that episode. Promise is another great one. Same with Princess and the Pirate. Come Along With Me, again, series. You know, it's hard to wrap up a series, and they did a great job. Don't watch Voltron. Sorry, can't talk to it, but I think, but I definitely think A Single Pale Rose is going to take this one for sure. I just don't see it not taking it.
I'd say Free Churro is on the top of many critics' lists, and as a rare animation episode.
If I may, I will be the one to put Free Churro over A Single Pale Rose. Like,
do it.
I hear you guys,
go ahead.
Well, I hear you guys. Like, the first thing that comes up is, hey, well, it's a nice idea. It's like, but like, I remember these conversations when A Fish Out of Water happened. Like, the first thing that comes up is, oh yeah, it's a nice gimmick. But like, then if we start with that, then it like ignores all the like the deeper emotional stuff that the episode managed to accomplish. And I think that's a similar thing with Free Churro. Like, admittedly, it's a creative setup, and that helps. But I think that the real strength of Free Churro is the fact that it highlights the best things that BoJack Horseman is able to do as a show. Like, it's very funny. It's a very funny episode, and it's a very emotionally like it digs into BoJack's psyche in a way that very few episodes of BoJack Horseman have done up to now. And the exploring the ideas of grief and of dealing with where your life is at a certain point in your age. So like, I think Free Churro is doing all the things that BoJack does right, and avoiding the things that sometimes hinder BoJack in terms of like over the top humor or like visual gags, maybe distracting from like the main purpose of it. So I just think that Free Churro is a distillation of what makes BoJack great. A Single Pale Rose is great too. But at the same time, I feel like Steven Universe, like just this year, had like a lot of great episodes, and I feel like A Single Pale Rose didn't exactly distinguish itself as much as Free Churro distinguished itself from the rest of BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, well, that's true, but it maybe also speaks to BoJack not having as many standout episodes as Steven Universe did, but it also did have a lot of great episodes as well. But I'm fine with either of those. They're both, they're my 1 and 2 of the year, so whichever. And I want to speak to the other ones as well. The Black Paladins of Voltron. The Keith and spoiler Shiro fight scene is just one of the best ever in American animation. It's so absolutely incredible. That episode is so phenomenal. Princess and the Pirate is one of my personal favorite episodes ever. It also completes the Moon Boon trio of nominations here. Both characters and their Skylight episode got in. We obviously are big fans, and just the ending scene of Princess and the Pirate. You got to see it. It's so powerful and phenomenal. Promise obviously also really good from Shiro. Shiro being capable of that episode in its first season is so impressive. But yeah, I'd be fine with Come Along With Me winning, just because this is one we're gonna remember, I think, from the end of Adventure Time, the last time to recognize Adventure Time here as an episode. So that shouldn't be overlooked there either. Very happy with these 6. A lot of strong contenders. Let's get to the big one here. The best show of the year, animated show of 2018. Only 6 made it. What will it be?
Summer Camp Island. Woo!
Yes, I'm sure Summer Camp. Brace yourselves for this category.
Oh
Big Mouth. No, just kidding. Not Big Mouth.
No.
Okay. No, there's a surprise here. Get ready. Okay. Best show of the year. And the nominees are BoJack Horseman, Mysticons, Ruby, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, Steven Universe, and Voltron Legendary Defender. There are your
Snub for Adventure Time.
So wait, hold on. So Ruby didn't get nominated for any other category except Best Show?
Ruby snuck in the nomination for Best Show. This is the shocker of the night. Ruby gets a Best Show nomination here.
Sure.
It also
0 and 4 for Castlevania. Woo.
No Castlevania. Okay, let's talk Ruby getting a Best Show nomination. This was the big story because the Ruby fandom is gonna go nuts, and this is Ruby. Here's the thing: Ruby is legitimately a good show now, so this is actually a legit nomination. It did not make my ballot. It would not have made my top 8-ish, but it's still in contention. This new season of Ruby has been phenomenal, and obviously it's very popular in our community, our internal community, because it made it on, and it didn't even just make it; it firmly made it into the mix here. So. Ruby's here. The snubs just missed Miraculous Ladybug, with much improved second season, concluding here. Really, really great. Craig of the Creek just missed. My pick for best new show of the year, absolutely phenomenal. Adventure Time just missed as well. With the problem with Adventure Time, didn't air too many episodes this season, but its series finale was incredible. And then you had stuff like Hilda, Bloom into You, Star vs. Force of Evil, Star, any other year, typically making our nomination slate. This is the first year it hasn't made it, but had a down year. Yeah, Michelle, what's surprises and what are your top picks in this category?
Well, I am very shook by Ruby, but I honestly have never seen it. So, I mean, yeah, I believe you. It could be a great show. I mean, the other ones really don't surprise me. Like, I know Voltron has a huge fan base. So there are 8 seasons now? I thought there were like 3 seasons.
It's quote unquote season. It's three groups of 26. Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Episodes.
Yeah, Netflix seasons are great.
Yeah, because I'm like, I feel like that show's not that old. How did they get that far?
The whole thing aired in like 2.5 years.
Yeah, 2018 of Voltron covers Voltron seasons 5 through 8. Is that correct?
Yeah. Voltron aired 39 episodes this year, and
that's half the show.
Yeah, it was, and I'm very happy I made it. It also just concluded, so this was the last year for eligibility of Voltron. And how about this highlight? She-Ra getting nominated for Best Show, and it completes a 5 for 5 in the nominations for She-Ra.
Way to go, She-Ra!
Every category.
So excited by the growth of that fandom in literally it's been like a month since that show came out. It feels like it's only been a month, and look at it go! It's the amount of AMVs I'm recommended for the show.
That's the measure. Yeah,
testament to how big this fandom is growing. I think that's great. I kind of hope it wins, but I mean, it's up against BoJack and Mysticons and Voltron and Steven, so we'll see. I'm glad I made it this far.
Yeah. So, Michelle, are you Steven or BoJack, or are those where you're leaning?
I mean, yeah, I feel like BoJack might legit win. I kind of hope that. It's hard because Steven hasn't aired that many episodes this season, but I mean, it's such a particular show. I would be happy if BoJack, She-Ra, or Steven won. That's how I feel.
Okay, that's good. Alex, what's your surprises and who are the front runners here?
I am surprised by Ruby because I feel like since I've joined the animation community, Ruby has usually been a punchline of like, hey, why is this show bad? Well, apparently it's good now, so good for you, Ruby fans. I'm happy that Mysticon showed up, although I'm a little surprised that it made it this far, but like I'm happy it got this far. So good that their final season is getting recognition there. So I guess those are my 2 surprises because the other ones, BoJack, Steven, Voltron, like those are long running, and She-Ra like legitimately has a very strong season. So like that they for sure deserve to be here. As for my choice, I would go Steven Universe because even if we talk about like limited episodes that aired, honestly, it's more than what BoJack has this year anyway. And like you begin the year with Jungle Moon, you get the Can't Go Back a Single
That
Pill
was
Rose.
2018.
Yeah, that was Jungle Moon was 2018.
Forever ago.
So like if we start from Jungle Moon and go through, like there are like 5 like top 10, top 20 episodes of Steven Universe that aired this year. The back-to-back of Now We're Falling Apart to What's Your Problem to The Question to Maid of Honor to Reunited, like that's a 5 episode strong stretch right there. So I think that Steven Universe like just kept up the consistency of quality. Like there's so many great episodes that aired this year that I think Steven Universe has to be best show.
April, what's your pick in the category?
My pick, I would love for She-Ra to take it, but I'm glad that like it got nominations in every category. Like that's great. It had an amazing first season. I totally agree with that. I'd really love for BoJack to win it. But I know in my heart of hearts that Steven is going to get it, simply because, again, like even though there wasn't as many episodes, they were such high quality. They were really enjoyable. There's a lot of good stuff going on. So it's probably going to be Steven. I'd love for it to be She-Ra, I would happily accept BoJack.
Right. Justin.
So I'm going to say, if it was just based on the first 38 and a half episodes that aired this year of Voltron, it would be Voltron, no question. I mean,
we'll get Voltron. We'll get Justin's Voltron takes tomorrow on the podcast.
I mean, no getting into that, but objectively, no spoilers. Just objectively speaking, this show put on its best episodes of its run this year because it's the back half of the show. I mean, it's everything they've been building towards, and then some. There was good episode after good episode after good episode. It's the end of the show. It's the last year you can vote for it. Everything looks to be going Voltron's way, but the last 10 minutes of the show has proven really divisive, and it's been like 3 days. And so if people vote based purely on the last 10 minutes, Voltron's going to lose. But if they vote based on the year of Voltron, it should probably win.
Okay, wow, strong. But yeah, the divisiveness in the Voltron fandom, what a surprise. I think this is BoJack versus Steven Universe. I think they're the two best shows on TV, and they had, I think, their strongest years ever. That's my big headline for 2018 in animation. Two best shows on TV, Steven Universe and BoJack had their best years ever. BoJack, I think, is better than the sum of its parts this year. Like, yes, Steven Universe had more strong individual episodes, but BoJack as a unit thematically came together so well for me this season. So I'm fine with either one. I'm not even sure which one I'm going to be pushing for internally. Ruby, just happy to be here. She-Ra, I also think just happy to be here. I think it was a great first season, but I don't think it's at the quality level of some of these other shows yet. But, it's just a first season. It's the only new show on this list. Like, that's phenomenal. Voltron did air a ton of episodes this year. Seasons 5 and 6 in particular were really phenomenal. And, I'm very happy Mysticons, got in here as well. I think that it was also really incredible this year. It's in the mid pack with Voltron for me in this list. Obviously a ton of internal support for Mysticons among us. Mysticons, Steven Universe, and She-Ra got nominated for every category they were eligible for. That is the top 3 here. She was nominated, eligible for an extra category, but those are the sweeps on the nominations. And other headlines here. I do think Castlevania, in terms of shows that got no nominations, is the biggest snub.
I'm actually like looking back, and Dracula didn't even like make a short list. That's weird. Like he's the kind of the star of Castlevania season 1.
Godbrand was the representative.
There were so many good characters on Castlevania, like it's not even funny. Like they started focusing on new characters, and they were just all great. Like there was not a character I was like, I don't like you. All of them are great.
Yeah, it's Castlevania has some great supporting characters, and and it really could have gotten in there in any of these categories itself. I think For Love is the biggest snub, but it also could have easily been in here for best show. Star didn't get in this category. It also had a good year. I think Ladybug, Ladybug and Craig, my kind of biggest snubs for this specific category. I'm upset about
Ladybug.
Yeah, but at least we got April. At least we get Hawkmoth in there.
That's true. But for real though, like Miraculous this year, like it had a phenomenal like run this year. Like there was it's funny because like in the podcast we always say like there's so much going on, but like at the same time it's what we needed, and it's almost like okay, we're finally all caught up, and they did it in such a way that like it deserves way more recognition than it got, at least in terms of this voting, just because they made leaps and bounds in a single season, especially coming off like a weak first season in my opinion. So I'm a little upset, but
Ladybug should have been over Ruby, obviously. But
Yes, I don't even know that show.
Justice in the world.
Yeah, Craig. I think Craig is genuinely already one of the best shows on TV, so I think it should have been up there as well. Ladybug and Craig, put those in there. Take She-Ra and Ruby out. That would be my list. Although She-Ra's close. Hilda, She-Ra, and Hilda very close as well to the top 6 for me. Yeah, those are just right. Perhaps maybe even 7 and 8. Yeah. So but I think this is a good list. And I think we properly maybe you could have put Adventure Time in there as well to give another show that's ending along with Voltron and Mysticons the final nomination.
I think honoring its finale is sufficient.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's hard to look at the body of work of Adventure Time this year, even less so than a Steven Universe or anything else. Just not many episodes aired.
But the Minecraft special.
Also, the Minecraft special did air this year. Yes,
that was the thing that aired.
Yeah, we didn't. Summer Camp Island 0 nominations. It should have gotten. It's a strong start. Unfortunately, didn't air the back half of its first season this year. I think that would have helped. Get it at least 1 in there. I think OKKO nothing. DuckTales nothing. Alex.
Yeah, the last Crash of the Sun Chaser I think was a legitimate candidate for best episode, just because I think that one is most representative of what DuckTales does best. So that'd be the one category I think DuckTales could have snuck in, but I guess it didn't. And OKKO, I still think it's a quality show. I don't think I'm ready to put it with that top 6 yet, but it's on its way. It was nominated for best new show last year, right?
No, we didn't have that category last year.
Oh, we didn't. Okay, yeah. But it would have been a nominee for that.
It would have been.
It's still on that trajectory of it's building and I think they can still hit a new peak. So OKKO and DuckTales, I think that they're missing here, but that there's opportunities still for them.
I think Big Mouth not getting any nominations in terms of the critics sphere is a statement from us, because that is the show you see along with BoJack on all these end of year lists in terms of animated shows. We, I guess, are not big fans of Big Mouth.
No.
A lot of us haven't seen it. So.
I have a thing for Connie the Hormone Monster, but that's about it.
Okay.
Thanks, huh?
I guess our statement is, if you actually want to follow the animation scene, these shows are better than Big Mouth, the ones we're talking about. Yeah. And Disenchantment, another prominent animated show, didn't get on. Also,
I think been a little disenchanted by
Disenchantment got 0 votes for best new show.
Wow.
Just
why is it on this list?
Well, it made the short list, but in terms of the final voting, it did not. Yeah, it automatically made it and got 0 votes. So that was the thing.
Was the Neo Yokio Christmas special eligible?
It was eligible, but not nominated.
Too late in the game.
In terms of the top nominations headlines, like I said, She-Ra, Mysticons, and Steven Universe nominated in every category, and then BoJack and Voltron nominated in all but 1 categories that they're eligible for. So those are your top performing shows of the year, at least internally for us. And just looking at this slate, very strong year, I think, all around. All these characters packed with tons of things that could and maybe should win. Yes, Alex. Closing remarks, Alex.
Castlevania not getting a single nomination is not reflective of its quality this year. I can safely say that. And I think She-Ra is properly represented in all of these categories. It deserves to be nominated for as much as it did, even though it's the first season. And I think that Steven Universe will end up winning multiple categories. I think that's my lone prediction of actual winners here.
We will see. The other headline I wanted to say is that Hilda, Craig, Dragon Prince, and Final Space only got the best new show nominations. I think any of those easily could have gotten another nomination in another category. Those were strong starts as well, especially Hilda and Craig, which I don't think were properly reflected in this nomination slate. I think Craig's a better show than She-Ra so far, but they're both good, so then one got 5, one
Craig
got 1
has
nomination.
many more episodes also.
It does have a lot more episodes, that is true. And Hilda, no show nominated can reflect the incredible visual stylings of Hilda. So I think that was not. If we had a best visuals category, we had that last year. We didn't do that this year. Hilda would have been up there. So any other final parting thoughts on these nominations?
Go watch Castlevania right now,
Yeah,
please.
Yeah.
I'm getting that impression. Castlevania and Mysticons, I really want to give a chance one day.
Well, watch those
Castlevania's
back to
only
back.
12
I'm sure that that'll go well.
Watch them back to back. I'm sure they'll flow really nice.
Yeah, they're both good. Oh yeah, if you've never heard of Mysticons, it's nominated in 4 categories. It's over now, unfortunately, but clearly we love it internally, and it's really great. So if you can, yeah,
Castlevania is not over, so please watch it now. So it doesn't.
Yes, Castlevania will have another chance with more
category
episodes
again.
too. Yeah. It'll be airing. It also only aired 8 episodes this year. I think it's increasing to 12 or something, or 10 next year. Yeah,
and it's getting a spin-off of Devil May Cry, and I swear if Devil May Cry gets nominated but not Castlevania, I will quit the podcast.
Yeah, do we want to talk briefly about 2019 shows or not?
There's a lot of good stuff coming in 2019. We can cover that, I think, elsewhere in the podcast. But yeah, a lot of we'll probably be keeping this best new show category because there's a lot of good looking stuff to come in next year.
Be close enough, maybe not. We'll see if that show ever airs.
That was not looking good. So we thought it was this year. So votes on you guys anyone can vote listening. Open vote. Vote at overlyanimated.com/awards. That'll redirect you to the Google form link. At the bottom, you'll check off which shows you've watched. I'm trying that this year because I want to, if you only watched 1 out of the 6, I want to weigh that less than someone who's watched all of them in a category. So we'll see how that works. Please be honest. And then you can vote, and then we'll have the results at the end of the month, around the 28th or 29th. We'll have that up as a podcast as well. Check out overlyanimated.com where we have coverage of a bunch of these shows, and you could our Discord. There's a lot of lobbying and discussion on our Discord, overlyanimated.com/discord, and support us via Patreon, patreon.com/overlyanimated. Our patrons were the ones that helped choose these nominations, and that's at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Michael, aka Wazowski, and thanks as always to our patron executive producers John, Ryan, Steve, Alex, and Hugh. Bunch of stuff up recently at overlyanimated.com, including coverage of some of these shows. RWBY coverage, the best show nominated RWBY, OKKO, Voltron season 8 coverage is up as well, and Spider-Man the Spider-Verse. No movies in these awards, but Spider-Man probably would have been our pick for best of the year, or at least up there. We really like that, so check out our review of that as well. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.